I'm really happy to welcome you here. I'm Leslie Benner, the Executive Director of the Illinois Heartland Library System with the microphone that's going like this. So I'll try not to go like that. The idea behind this session is to provide those of you that are interested in the 3M implementation within Polaris, how it's going to work within the parameters of the grant and also within the parameters of our consortium. First, I'd like to welcome a couple people here who stopped by for this session. We have Ann Craig, the Director of the Illinois State Library. Thank you very much. Responsible for the very big phone check. Thank you, thank you. And somebody asked me, so you each got $985,000? No! But that's okay. That's okay. We're good with whatever. This is a collaborative project. We're really excited to be able to partner with our colleagues and friends at Rails. We have some Rails staff members here as well. There's Jay Plass, the Associate Director, Rhonda Pitchford, who's the Project Director for this, and also the Membership and Resource Sharing Director for Rails. Did I get that right? All right. We've got some of our staff here as well. Chris Dottie's in the back. She's the Share Manager for Staff Services. Troy Brown's our IT Director. We have new to the project, however not new to our staff, Leslie Zabadou, who is our trainer coordinator for the eBook projects. Really briefly, this project is about, it has a 2-year duration in terms of the funding from the State Library. There are 3 basic goals that we hope to achieve, and I'm sure that we will. It's to expand access to ebooks in the state of Illinois, to provide training for our member library staff, so that they can in turn help their patrons. And then we'll also be, in the 2nd year of the grant, developing a self-hosted model. So more on that in the future. I think I'm going to, and also with us, we've got some friends from 3M. Doug Munson and Nick Byatt. Nick Byatt, okay. So we're going to let Chris talk, and she'll tell you more about the grant. Thank you.
Some of the things people have been asking us are still kind of a moving target, but we gave you some information just now that will help you decide whether your library wants to participate in the 3M Cloud or not. I wanted to let you know too, Leslie Zabadou, our new eBook coordinator trainer, is doing an exceptionally good job at being organized, is planning on starting an e-read newsletter for IHLS beginning next week when we get back to the office. She will include attachments, these attachments that we handed out. She will also include a list of the books that we have already purchased for our opening day collection. So then you all can give us ideas on what else we need to include. We will also be posting all of this information, and Troy is making a video of this presentation. Doug told us he was already a movie star, so he was okay with it. And we'll be posting it on the Share website. Have I forgotten? Oh, I know. I was supposed to tell you why we picked 3M. Y'all know we went on Polaris a few months ago. That was a really good experience, right? Yes. 3M works seamlessly with Polaris. We've heard questions about how we're going to train patrons on how to use it. I'm here to tell you, you're not going to have to train anybody. Our 3M Cloud was up and working briefly last week before my buddies Joanne Bauer and Edie and Elliot in the cataloging department suppressed the records. So I was able to check out a book. I can't download it because they suppressed the records before I got it downloaded. But it was really, really easy. And Doug's going to demonstrate how to do that. So that's what I'm working on. Leslie, do you want to add anything?
That's it.
Okay. And I'm going to turn it over to Doug.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's see if this works. I'm going to have a really tough time because I don't stand still. So this being here really irritates me. I need a wireless or something. So, well, no, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Chris and Leslie, for the great words. What I'm going to talk about today, I'm just going to cover a PowerPoint of, kind of where 3M was and where we're going. Some of the other items that are kind of going along with the Polaris and the Illinois Heartland, and actually the Rails as well. And from there, I'm going to try and show you some live stuff. Wi-Fi has been a little sketchy, so we're going to see how that works. But so let's get started. So I want to just kind of tell you about the 3M Cloud story. Let me just get this all out here. So, one of the things that we did when we first came to market, we looked at, we talked to a lot of customers like yourself, and we heard the overpowering that, we really don't like overdrive, we don't, blah, blah, blah. And so we're like, okay, if we come to market, what do we need to do? And they said, you need to bring something very easy to market. So that's what we did. We actually launched April 2012. We have over 175 library systems out there today using the cloud library, and we keep on adding more and more libraries, so it's really good. When we first came to the market, we thought, we're just going to take over the market. It's, we're going to come out with a great product. And really, once we got into it, we really learned quickly that we're just going to be really providing a good alternative to ebooks that your patrons may have today. One of the things that we really feel good about is coming to market with the easiest to use patron application. We eliminated the Adobe Editions login process, which is huge. The second thing is, we are the first ebook lending service to offer ownership of the titles. We are also the first to come with an ILS integration, and that was with Polaris, and we're also partnering with other ILS vendors as well. And then we were the first to allow an in-library experience, and that's where we have the discovery terminals, that some people can walk up to it. So it kind of really brings the ebooks that are so virtual more to like this is a real thing. We also put a lot of money into hired engineers, as well as a collection development manager, and her name is Heather McCormick, so you might have heard that name before. She was at the Library Journal for 14 years. She does an exceptional job, but every collection manager that deals with her loves her. And then really when you think about, what happens with all these ebooks is content is king. And, we have partnered with the top 6 publishers, which now is getting to be the top 5. So we have Penguin, Random House, Spain Montessori, we just brought them on as well. We're doing a trial with Simon & Schuster. And then through a trial that we had with Hachette, we brought them back to the market. So we feel very proud that 3M, not being in the market for very long, but we've been able to accomplish a lot with both partners, with publishers, as well as changing the product. So when you think about digital circulation, the determinant more than just your collection, and what I mean by that is are you reaching all your potential patrons? And that's really a big question for a lot of libraries. How can we reach more and more people? The second thing is are you using all the integrations that you have the ability to use today? Whether it's Polaris, Boopsy, whatever type of integration you have, are you using those things? And the last thing is the experience. Does the patron leave this, once they download the app, has it been a really good experience, or is it, well, it's free, so I'll use it? We really want to make sure that this is a great experience for the patrons as well as the libraries. So when you think about, are you reaching all your patrons? And this is a great picture. This reminds me of my daughter. She loves to read on my iPad, but this is a really good view of, we're getting younger and younger when it comes to people reading ebooks. You think about 4th, 5th, 6th graders. They have these iPhones, this technology that's amazing. They can just download an ebook and the way they can go. So it's really nice to see that the younger generation, and that's really our target market. So integration with your library apps, like I said, we want to make sure that we stay integrated. Here's an example of Boopsy. We got integrated with Boopsy probably about 2 or 3 months ago, so that's a nice way to really learn how to use the app and then go to town. The other thing is integration with your catalog. Like Chris said, you guys have Polaris today. This is a great way to integrate into your library. Now, some of our competitors are catching up when it comes to integration. What's nice about it, we're really deep down into the Polaris category. So your hold notifications will come from Polaris, the reporting will come from Polaris. So there's a lot of additional benefits with the 3M and the Polaris. We've really got a tight integration. Like I said, circulation by library or branch, print and digital stats combined, so all these different things, whether you check it out from the 3M Cloud app or you check it out from the Polaris ILS, it all shows up in the same spot. So that's where the tight integration and the advantage that 3M does have with Polaris. So, again, getting back to experience. we want to make sure that the patron has a great experience. And it all starts from the first time they download the app. We have a registration pre-powering. So in other words, they don't have to go to Adobe Editions, they don't have to go to a third-party application. They can just download the app and continue on. And if you think about it from your target market, whether it's 4th, 5th grade, or 80-year-old seniors, doing the Adobe Edition extra step really is a pain. And so when you think about a 4th grader on a phone to try and do that, it's really difficult. So we've done a really good job of integrating our apps, application design into our apps, whether it's iOS, Android, PC, Mac, Kindle Fire, so we have a consistent experience for all the different users out there. And then the bookmarking and syncing across the network. So we built our product on the cloud network for a reason. And the reason is that we want to be able to synchronize up to 5 different devices. So I can start reading on this device. I can go to my iPad and I can continue reading right where I left off. So it's one of those things that we feel is very important. And when it comes to the readers are telling us, this is very important, I really like this. I don't have to go from tablet, I can just continue reading right where I left off. So the other thing we talked about is, reach and integration experience. What is that going to do for your library? Well, just a couple examples we have. Baltimore County Library, yes, Baltimore County Public Library. When they integrated with their Polaris ILA system, their circulation grew 69%. So that's huge. Right now, for their pretty big library system, over 30% of their circulations today are from the 3M, which is very nice. Even a library like Des Moines in Iowa, Des Moines Public Library, they grew 181% when they brought on the 3M Cloud, and that's without integration. So we're seeing a big uptick in circulation, and that's why when you think about kind of a different vendor or a different partnership, it's really nice to have this circulation growth when you partner with 3M. So again, just talking about the relationship with the publishers, 3M since day one, that was our goal. Is we want to make sure we can bring every publisher to you. We're fighting every day to talk with more and more publishers. A couple of our managers just got back from, I don't know if it's in Germany or London, wherever the book fair was, but they talked to a lot of different publishers. They're signing up a lot more publishers, so it's really good. And like I said, we're doing a trial with Simon & Schuster right now, and hopefully we'll be opening that up soon to our customers. When I talked about Heather McCormick, there are so many great things to talk about with her. She does have a blog. It's called the Cloud Unbound blog, and if you ever want to go on it because she has a lot of good detail. Once you're part of the family, the collection development people will get a kind of an email once a week. And part of that email is letting you know what's new coming, maybe a new publisher, or some backlist, or some type of really good information about what's going on in the industry. She is brilliant. I actually, when it comes to this, she's very good. And she lives right in New York, so she's whining and dining all the publishers and talking to them. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, and this was something that we talked about at ALA this year, so if you weren't there, is when you think about ADA compliance, when you think about what happens when you have a vision impaired person. What 3M decided to do, instead of just starting fresh and coming out with a new application or a new proprietary software, what we decided to do is work with Apple. When it comes to the blind, vision impaired, Apple is the best product out there today. And so what we did is we worked with them, and we just have this accessibility mode, so that we're covering. So this is something new that we announced at ALA. And this is kind of like, if you ever heard of Overdrive and the Advantage program, this is kind of like the Advantage program on steroids. And I thought I'd get some chuckle out of that. That's a tough group. I don't know. I thought
it was that chocolate from lunch.
That's long. I know, that's what I heard. I heard the lunch was so good that people were sleeping during this presentation. So I should have done Red Bull instead of coffee. So anyway, so what we came out with is what's called the private cloud and the private link. So you can have the Illinois Heartland Consortium like you have today. And if the individual libraries, if they want to have their private cloud, and what are some reasons that you'd want to have your private cloud? Well, there are certain publishers that will not sell to consortium. So by having your private cloud, you can buy those types of publishers' books. Second reason is if you want to do a link and link back, you can also do resource sharing. So if you think about it, so a good example is, let's say, Illinois Heartland, and I'm just thinking somebody in Chicago is always saying, let's say Chicago Public. Let's say they want to link together. What happens is if I'm a Chicago Public patron, I can go into my Chicago Public, the eBooks. I also can view the Illinois Heartland. If there's books available on the Illinois Heartland, I can check it out. But as a Chicago patron, I cannot put the Illinois Heartland books on hold. Those are foremost for the Illinois Heartland people, but I can at least check those books out if they're not being used. Does that make sense? So it's really, like I said, it's a good way for you to have a private cloud if you want that. And really, like I said, reasons are, you can get different content. That private cloud would be really more used for and first your patrons. So hopefully there's if there's any confusion, certainly ask questions afterwards. But yeah, so I just got a couple more slides and I'm going to try and get into the real stuff. But what I want to do is introduce Nick Bile. Nick Bile he's our core rep, so he deals with RFID, automated material handling, and self-checks. So we came out with a new software called Quick Connect, and it's really, really cool. So if you get a chance, stop by the booth. We're going to have a self-check there with the new software. It has some really good features like recommend reads, and who's that? Picture who's the through Annapolis. So it's really cool to have that recommend reads. It's something that I think you'll really like. So I'm going to get out of this. Any questions about some of the stuff I shared? I know that not everybody, I know this is really busy, so don't laugh at me. Any questions about what I've covered so far? Yes?
The voiceover 20% universal, or is that dependent on publishers allowing?
That's universal. It's just right through the iPad or the iPhone. It's universal. Good question. Anything else? Okay, so what I figured I'd start with is kind of, I'm going to use the example of Snow Isle. Snow Isle is a library that is out in Washington. They came on with the Polaris system back in for mid-ALA, so we kind of did a really good celebration for that. So here's a good example of what I'm assuming is going to look like when I win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here and I'm going to my account, and I figure I better log in. I remember my password? Yes. All right. So far, so good. So again, what we're really trying to do is get the patrons, once they're in the ILA system, they can check out print material, they can check out ebooks, they can see the history of the ebooks as well as print material. They can be notified through your ILA system. So there's a lot of really good benefits of driving in there. So for easy case, I'm just going to type in 3M here. And just thinking. So as you can see, the first book is just a print material book. The second book, I believe, is print as well, and then we kind of get into more of the ebooks. You can see right here, Dr. Spock's Baby and Child Care. I can put it on hold if I want to. Death of an addict. You don't see a hold or checkout because I already have it checked out. So I can keep on going down here and see what's available, and I can see Death of a Macho Man. We have some good books. A lot about that. So what I would do as a patron, I would just be in here and I'd check it out. And it's going to say, check out this book for your 3M Cloud Library Reader. And I'm going to say yes. So your ebook has been successfully checked out. So you may download it onto your 3M Cloud app. So that's already sitting there in my iPad or whatever application I'm going to have at the time. So I wanted to just show that. Let's see if there's another one we can check out. Let's do the Valley of Horses. Again, very simple. I'm in here, I see the checkout. I hit checkout, and it's going to check out to my really my 3M cloud in the sky. Yeah, think about it that way. So what's nice about this is I got a couple books checked out. If I want to, I can go back to, let's see my count. You can tell I don't use the ILS a lot. So I'm going to go to item, and you're going to be able to see the different ebooks that I have checked out today. So, and what's really nice about here is it shows you the due date. I can check it in right from here. You know, and Snow Isle does not have the reading history up and running right now, but if you want to, you can. Baltimore County does have the reading history. It's really library by library. So then you kind of decide if you want to do that. So I'm going to pop out of my computer and go into my iPad. Is there any questions before I pop over a Macintosh application? All the things that we built.
Oh, it's your...
Yes, yep. So,
It's reading stuff.
No. So the one thing that I really want to let you guys know is that, you know, 3M has been in business for many years.
I know 3M.
But we really pride ourselves on doing everything ourselves. And so all the applications that you're going to see out there are built by us. So if something does break, you just call us. It just makes it much easier than partnering with a lot of different companies. But it's a very good question. But yeah, so if you have an Apple, you go to the App Store. If you have an Android, you go to Google Play, et cetera, et cetera. Make sense?
Okay. I just wanted to know for downloading what we have to do.
Good
For
question.
example, we will...
Yeah, so from the PC to like a Nook or something like that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad you reminded me. Thank you very much. I didn't even pay for that one. I'll answer the question first and I'll show you.
You mentioned reading history, like in Polaris, a patron can say they want their reading history.
Yes.
With the 3M product, let's say that they've gone to the catalog and downloaded the 3M ebook, would that ebook show up in their patron history?
Yes.
Okay, automatically from through Polaris.
Yep, so whatever I do on this side is going to show up on that side.
Okay.
And that's really, you know, when you think about it, that was my statement earlier is that competition is catching up on certain things, but with the integration that we have, they're far from it. As far as the reporting package, as far as the notifications, as far as the syncing of the 3M Cloud to the ILS system. So it's,
Thank you.
So I'm going to grab this. So here is a Nook. So I'm going to bring up my PC app. I'm going to go to my books. So here's my PC app. And did you notice that a bunch of books just kind of came piling up? Is that pretty nice? That's the integration. Did everybody see that? Technology is working. That's awesome. So as you can see, I checked it out in the Polaris pack, and all of a sudden, bam, it came up. That's cool stuff, people. Okay, so the one thing you'll know is, here's one of the things that I love about 3M, and they really think about how can we make it easier for the patron. So when we built our PC app, we went out to libraries like yourself, and we asked them, how many steps does it take for a patron to transfer an ebook from their PC to a Nook or a Kobo or some type of e-ink device? The common thing we heard is 5 to 7 steps. And we thought, you know, that's a lot of steps. So here it is. As you can see on the screen, all these little books that say transfer device. So I am going to amaze you, and I'm going to hear a lot of oohs and ahs from the audience. So I'm just going to kind of hover over here, and I'm going to, technology baby. So I'm just going to transfer the device. There we go. Where's the oohs and ahs? That's awesome.
It was so fast we didn't see it.
I know. That's really good. So watch closely. See? The second one's always faster. You had a question, sir?
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to backtrack just for a second to the reading history.
Yes.
I just did mine, and I hit delete, and I thought it might tell me, are you sure you want to do this? And it just deleted my whole history. So
That's it.
suggestion for 3M,
Okay.
those who make a mistake,
Yes.
build in a reinforcement, because it's gone.
Now, is it on the 3M Cloud app, or is it through the Polaris? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because it does say delete history, so you must have hit.
I did, but many times when you do something like that,
Yep.
you're kind of used to, are you sure?
Yep.
We need something like that. Because I just deleted my whole reading history from my free library.
Well, you shouldn't have done that. No.
I'm here to give you suggestions. Improve this product.
No, thank you very much. And what's really cool about having the Polaris ILS as well is that you'll definitely have a backup of that reading history. So.
Right, but those of us who don't have the Polaris.
Yes. No, that's a good suggestion. I'll take it back to engineering. I can't be that tough to put that in there.
Thank
So.
you. It's okay. It's not like I'm heartbroken.
Well,
I know what I read. It's just not there anymore now.
but you know what's really cool about the reading history, and I don't think, I do have some. What's really cool about the reading history is if that book does expire, I can just go right to my reading history and click on it again, and you can see it says add to whole list, but if it's available, I can just check it out right from my reading history. So it does make things a lot easier. Now, again, the library decides whether to allow reading history in the 3M cloud. So some libraries choose to just let the ILS have the reading history and they shut ours off, or you can have them both working at the same time. It's up to you guys. So I just want to make sure you understand that. Now I'm going to go over to my iPad. Is there any other questions about this? Yeah.
One quick question about the PC app. Is it easy to log out of one account and log in with a different user, or is your app kind of authorized to a single account?
It's really authorized to a single account, but if I want to, let me get out my reading history. Hang on, buddy. Account profile. So you'd have to log out the account and then read it initialize. And I'm actually going to do the download process so you can see that. So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. So Nick was supposed to come up and do a joke while I was transferring this, but he did not listen. All right, beautiful. So nice when technology works. Now, thought you get to see a picture of my car? No, that's my dream car. So what I'm going to do is, I'm hoping technology can work here because I'm going to actually log out of this account and show you kind of from a patron experience what's going to happen. So I'm going to go to the App Store. Hopefully my kids didn't put anything fun here. So you can see right here it says open. Normally it's going to say install, but since I already have it downloaded, it does not say that. So that's my first step, is to download it. I've gone through that. So it says welcome, few steps away from accessing your local library. And I have my long snow aisle number that I could write in. So connect to your library. United States, we're going to hit next. I'm going to do Washington. And I'm going to hit next. I'm going to do Snow Isle. Next. And then this long number. All right. Then we're just going to log in. And then we have to accept the license agreement. So normally if you're on a really quick Wi-Fi, it's going to come up right away. It was a little slow earlier when I was out there testing. But again, you can see how easy is that. Pretty easy. God, you guys gotta wake up. This is good stuff. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, if you think about it, like I said, if you have an 8-year-old person or a 12-year-old person, this is very, very easy. There's you don't have to go do Adobe Editions, you need third-party application. This is it. That's it. So now I want to cover a little bit about the different things that we have available in the 3M Cloud. As you can see, God, I really wish I could just move. As you can see, it says shelves, categories, search, and my books. So we want to make sure that this is very consistent through all our applications. So whether you're on the PC, the Mac, Kindle Fire, Nook Color, Nook Tablet, Android devices, Android phone, you're always going to see the same 4 tabs. Now, as you can see, shelves are customizable by you, the library, or by Illinois Herald. And really, when you think about what does that mean, if you've ever gone to like a Barnes & Noble store and you walk in and there's like, all these books that they think we want to buy. Kind of the same thing for you guys. You guys put these books on there that you think your patrons are going to want to read. Snow Isle does a really good job on their shelves. They probably have like 20 to 28 shelves in here. They have new fiction for teens, new fiction for kids, picture books, 17 mysteries, 21 sports. So they do a really good job on keeping this updated. And really all I have to do here is show all, and you can see which ones are available and which ones are not available. It's really good for a library when you don't see a lot of green, right? You want those circulated. I figured I'd get more out of that too. So it's a tough crew. So as you can see, it says available in 20 days, add to whole list. I can just add to the whole list. Makes it really simple. If I want to, I can just check it out. And if the Wi-Fi is quick, it's just going to start downloading right away. So this looks like it's going to take a second or two. So I'm going to go back to shelves.
Can you return the book early?
Yes, you may. I can do that while we're waiting. So if I go to, oops. So where it says check in, you can see that one summer is still downloading, but I can check it in at any given time. So if I just check it in, I'm going to check it in. Yes. So it makes it very easy to check in, and you can do it at any time. Yeah, touching too many buttons. Okay, so that's how you check it in. Make sense?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So
You don't check it in, but you do it automatically?
yeah, it automatically expires. So and that's again, that's if I go on my books here, we have it set for 21 days. It's default in the system, but you guys can change it to 7 days, 14, 28. If you want to change it to 2 days, you can. So it's just a number system. And then you also set the how long you want something on a hold list. Do you want it to be on the hold list for 4 days until I check it out, and if I don't, then it goes back. So it's just a detail that you guys need to figure out. So now we're going to get into categories. Now, like I said, shelves are customizable by you, the library. The categories are already pre-populated. It's all the BISEC codes from the publishers that send us the information. So we also have a filter here. And you guys have a choice, well, no one has a choice, that you could, if you want to, include all the ebooks that 3M has, so all your patrons can see what's available, and then they have the ability to add things to a wish list. You know, some libraries like the idea of adding things to the wish list. Other libraries don't like the idea of adding to the wish list. It can be very overwhelming, especially when you're with a big system like this. So it's really a choice for you guys. You had a question?
Yes. When you talked about a while ago about somebody from Chicago could check out from Heartland, they just couldn't place a hold. When you sit there and you say open up anything to 3M,
Yes.
Are you talking about like we could access Snow Isle? We just couldn't place a hold on it?
No, what I'm talking about, opening up the 3M, all the ebooks on the 3M flower. So it's just to be able to add things to a wish list, and then your collection development people would get a report on the back end showing all the different.
Do they automatically get the wish list? Like would Leslie automatically get the wish list? Is that what
she would print the report.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Thank you.
And I know she's been talking to Jordan a lot, so they're like brother and sister now. So categories, like I said, so you can filter owned by the library, or you could books available for you to check out. So it just makes a nice sense. Search is very simple search. At any time though, you can always go back to the full catalog. So we could hit that button back to the full catalog. I don't think Snow Isle has it. Let's see, yep. So if I touch their icon, it just automatically goes back to their catalog. Some libraries have that set up. And you know what's funny is New York Public made us do that, and they never even set it up. So it's something, it blows my mind. They made us do that, and they're the only library that doesn't have a setup. So, now when I'm in my books, right here, you guys set the parameters of how many ebooks I can download at any given time. Whether it's 4, 5, 10, 20, whatever you guys want to do. So that'd be more detail from Leslie and the crew. So if I open up a book, one of the things I talked about, when you think about social media out there, social media is such a big thing, especially with the younger generation. Oh, this is a nice thing to come up. I like this. So when I talked about synchronizing, across the different devices. This is a really good example. I've read this in a different device, and now it's asking me, do I want to synchronize to my last reading position? So I hit yes, and then I can continue on. So now, going into more of like the social media, what we have the ability to do is email this to a friend. If I think, boy, this is a really good book, I want to email it to them. If I want to put it on my Twitter, I can do that as well. If I want to put it to my Facebook, you can see I'm currently reading I'm Mad as Hell, and I'm not going to eat anymore. And then it's going to show you the library that I came from. So it's just when you think about social media, it's going to be such a big thing out there, and we just want to make sure that we stay on top of it. It's kind of funny when we were at the ILA this year, this was a new feature, and I posted a bunch to my Facebook, and I had all my friends like, hold on, you don't read what is this? You're kidding me. You don't read all these books, and I'm like, yeah, well. So, I will say, since I've gotten to turn 12, I've read a lot more than I ever have. So it's a good thing. Font size. Now, like I said, we can just keep on increasing the font size. If we want to do a night mode or a day mode, you know, some people like that. I can lock their orientation so it doesn't move all over when I move my iPad. If I want to, I can take and save notes on this beautiful 3M Post-it note. It's funny, I actually had somebody say to me, well, can we change the colors? I'm like, well, this is what we started with, this pop yellow type of Post-it note. So I said, no, this is our brand. But it was kind of funny. So I think I'm trying to see if there's anything else to cover. I think I've more or less covered everything. Like I said, here's the reading history. And like that gentleman in the back room, he deleted the reading history and did not say anything there. But you can delete the reading history at any time. You can add more to it. Another nice feature that we have is the ability to, if you tweet today, you can tweet things on Twitter. Or from a library standpoint, like Illinois Heartland, if they want to send out messages. Maybe you're having an open house at one of your locations and you want to send it out to your patrons to invite people to have come in for a hot dog, pop, and chips. Whatever you want to do, you can send out messages to the different individuals. So I think I covered majority of things. Chris, is there anything that you can think of that I might have missed?
We got a question.
Not that you missed, but could you talk a little more about the cloud migration and how it could work in Illinois Heartland?
Sure. So you talking about the private cloud?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, the integration itself, you have the consortium. Let me grab that picture. So is there a certain, I know you talked with Tom, is there a certain thing that you and Tom talked about?
Essentially how it will work for our member libraries, and those of you that have been involved since the beginning discussions that we started a little over a year ago, we can talk about there being one big IHLS class, and libraries who wanted to spend additional money could have their own private cloud that would link. This is it.
Yep.
They finally got to make it public.
Yeah, so
that's what I wanted you all to know.
Okay. Thank you. And yeah, we actually, when we first started this process a year ago, we did talk to Rails about it, to the state of Illinois, as well as Illinois Heartland. And at that time, we didn't have it. We couldn't announce it. We had to make sure we did some procedure things before we could announce it. So we were able to get past that, and now we can announce it. We announced it actually at ILA. We have the MELSA group in the Twin Cities, which is our first group that's going to be coming on board with it. So it is new. But what's nice about it is that you can have, from a library standpoint, you can really think about it as you have the Illinois Heartland, under there, and if you want your own private cloud, and like I said, the reasons of that are you can buy content that you can't have on Illinois Heartland. And secondly is you can also, for your patrons, they can go into your private cloud and they have first access to it. So you're not sharing, you are sharing, but you're not, they may not have difficulties getting some of the books on the Illinois Heartland. The second thing too is then if, like we said, if Chicago and Harlan want to do it, they could link back and forth, and if I was a Chicago person, I could just check it out, and vice versa if they love it. So this is a new product, so we haven't done a lot of marketing on it because there's so many ways that we can go with this. So we're going to be very careful. We're not going to allow a link from here to San Francisco. It's going to be very territorial, so within the region. So it's something that, like I said, we're really jazzed about it. I think it's going to be a great product for whether you're a consortium, whether you're a library that just want to link to another library. There's a lot of different ways we can go about this. So, yes.
So I assume that's a separate purchase too, right?
Yes.
So if I would purchase a private cloud, could the El Dorado Public Library get books from my cloud?
If you link to them, if they have the free cloud as well.
Or would they have to have their own private cloud, you mean?
Yep.
So the private clouds could link?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
But they could also get it through, because they can part of a big IHLS cloud, whether they have their own private cloud or not.
yeah. So,
But like if I would buy those where they don't sell to a consortium,
yeah.
they wouldn't show up in the consortium
No.
cloud, right?
No.
Okay.
The publishers still will not allow that. So even if you buy those buy those ebooks from
They're
publishers,
just in my cloud.
they're in your cloud and nobody else has access to them. Because
Oh, so even they couldn't access those that are purchased by ones who don't allow the consortium?
But they'll
Exactly.
show up in the OPAC, won't they?
They'll show up in the Polaris pack.
Yeah.
Yes. But they won't be able to, like I said, when it comes to ebooks that consortiums will not sell, whether I'm a private cloud and I buy those ebooks, nobody that's linked into you has access to those books because then they're for consortium. It's a publisher model that we have to go.
I just wanted to understand.
Yeah, there's no way around it. It's something that we have to abide by.
Right, thank you.
Since the words buy and purchase have already been used, what are like typical costs
For what?
being
Like-
involved?
Being involved?
Yeah.
The Illinois Harlans they're going to have their own costs. So that's probably something, I don't know if you want to answer that, Chris.
We handed out a sheet
Okay.
that explains how the fees are going to work.
So, and then if you do
No, I haven't. I just didn't look through it.
if you were to do a private cloud, that'd be through the free. And that's really based on population.
And you could probably check with, I said, Leslie, like what your actual amount would be, right? Like,
Yeah, we
they
will
would call
have
you
a form where you can request a quote.
Very good.
And it will be posted hopefully on the speaker next week, where you'll just write into us and you'll fill in that data for us, what your population is, what your circulation statistics is, and I can give you an actual number that says this is what you would pay if you choose to join. So that it's clear, you don't have to do all that figuring for yourself.
Because it will vary by population, collection budget.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same base fee, but the other things will vary.
Okay. You had a question?
Yeah, actually, I have two questions. If we would have, let's say, 10 copies of the new Bill Bryson book, in the catalog, would they show up as 10 individual instances of that book, or would it?
It'd be one instance.
Okay, and then the fund would be free until
It'd be available until somebody hits the 10.
Okay.
So, and then from there, it'd be added list.
Okay, and then the other question is the private cloud.
Yes.
How those would show up in the catalog, and will it identify my library as an owner of that title, or whatever individual libraries are owners of that title? Do we know how that'll look yet, or not?
I do not know how that's going to look.
Okay.
It's, like I said, with the Melsa group, they don't have, they're not all on Polaris.
Right.
So they have different catalogs, so I haven't seen how it's going to look for them, so I wish I had a question for you. But we'll find out quickly.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. There is a shaving collection that we buy from you or whatever, and there is also in the collection like the items that we can just buy ourselves.
If you are a private cloud.
Yeah, private cloud. That is not part of your.
No.
And it is because she's asking how you can show that you are the owner of these.
Yeah, I understand what she's asking. I don't have that answer yet.
No, I don't understand what does it mean, because if you buy an e-book, you buy an e-book and you have it other way than you buy it and have it, then you have it, only you use it, it doesn't go to the shelf that doesn't. Huh?
So the way I view it is the private cloud,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, it's hard to answer because I haven't seen it yet. And since you guys have a shared collection, it's going to be different than what we have in the Twin Cities.
I'm thinking, for example, if I have e-books from EBSCO, then it is, I bought it, nobody else can use it, my e-book.
Yes.
Then if I buy a private cloud, and it is not part of your cloud, your sharing cloud.
Yes,
this
then
is-
nobody else will
I
see it.
use it,
Yes.
nobody else can use it.
Yeah, so-
There is
so-
no need that you say that you are the owner. I can use it. If somebody else wants to use it, should buy it.
Yes, so you could have a private cloud
Yes.
and decide not to link it back to the
Yeah.
consortium.
Yes.
In that case, then nobody's going to have access to it except for your patrons.
My other question is that you didn't talk about the format. Is this like
EPUB.
EPUB and how about PDF?
We do have some PDF, 98% is EPUB.
And if you have PDF, you need PDF reader?
No.
No.
What about the Kindles?
Kindle Fire.
Kindle Fire?
Yep. Yep, that's something, you know, we've talked to Amazon for years about having that pass-through like they have with Overdrive. You know, it's really up to them if they want to allow us to do it. 2 years ago, it really bothered me. Nowadays, tablets are getting to be a lot less. People are starting to read a lot more on their cell phones. We're not going to, you know, we'll talk to them, and if they offer it to us, we may do it. But, you know, right now, they really have to decide, do they want to put engineering time into it? And then also, we have to decide if we want to put engineering time into it as well. So it's something that, you know, like I said, we talk to them on a regular basis, but Amazon's their own animal.
At this point, you don't have any audio download, right?
No,
Not
actually,
any.
no, good question. We are looking to do audiobooks, I want to say summer 2014. So it's something that we're working very diligently on, and it's something that we want to get done. You know, one of our biggest concerns is we don't want to just partner with the company and throw it in there and have it very difficult to use. You know, we've done a really good job on the paper app. We've done a really good job on the buying and shopping tool now. So we want to make it very consistent and make it very easy that people know, yeah, this is an audiobook from 3M and this is an ebook from 3M. So we're putting our own engineering time into to make it right.
Can we have only private cloud without going to this sharing cloud?
That was my question. You actually have to be a member of the big cloud first, right? The consortium cloud before you can have a private cloud.
Link in with, in order for it to link.
Right, because you would have to become a member, you'd have to join the 3M consortium, eBook consortium, before you can create a cloud, your own cloud, right?
Well,
I just wanted to clarify.
technically, you could have just your own private cloud if you wanted to. The advantage of the Illinois Heartland is it's going to be cheaper, for one thing, and you're going to have access to probably a lot more books. So technically, yes, you can. Yes.
How do your available titles compare to Overdrive? Is there a lot of overlap or is it a difference? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly going to be a lot of overlap. You know, we have Penguin exclusivity for a year there, Penguin opening up, which, you know, any good trial, that's what's going to happen. You know, we're in a trial with Simon Schuster right now, so we'd be probably hoping 4 months that they're going to open up to all our customers, kind of like Penguin did. And you know, I'm sure they'll be exclusive with us for a while, and as the trial progresses, you know, that's the whole idea of the trial, is to eventually open up to everybody. The Random House Montessori is now in Random House Spain. We have a contract with them, as well as we're just signing on with the other 2 Spanish publishers with Random House. That's exclusive for right now, but I guess again, that can all change. So, good question. No, I know they brought in some chips, or not chips, but the pop and coffee and some things, so make sure you grab something. Any other questions that you guys may have for myself or Leslie and the group at Illinois Heartland?
Very cool.
Very cool, I like that.